Narcissists' manipulation tactics exposed. Introduction. Narcissists are masters of manipulation, spinning lies and illusions to control the people around them. If you've ever felt confused, belittled, or emotionally exhausted in a relationship without knowing why, you might have been dealing with a narcissist. They operate by a playbook of toxic tactics, charming you one minute and undermining you the next, all to maintain power. In this video, we will expose the most insidious manipulation tactics narcissists use. By recognizing these strategies, you can protect yourself and break free from their control. 1. Love bombing, the idealization trap. The first phase of a narcissist's manipulation often feels like a dream come true. They overwhelm you with affection and attention, showering you with compliments, gifts, and constant praise. This is known as love bombing, and it's the narcissist's way of hooking you. You feel special, adored, even soulmate level connected. What you don't realize is that this intense romance is a calculated tactic. Love bombing establishes quick loyalty and dependency. By moving fast, too fast, with grand gestures and talk of a future together, the narcissist cements themselves in your life. The pain point comes later. After lifting you up to dizzying heights, they now have the leverage to drop you. When the narcissist later starts to demean or hurt you, you're left second-guessing yourself. Maybe it's my fault? They were so wonderful before. You think. That doubt and confusion are exactly what they want. Love bombing isn't love at all. It's the bait in a trap that ensures you'll tolerate the abuse that comes next. 2. Gaslighting, twisting your reality. Once you're invested in the relationship, the narcissist deploys gaslighting to tighten their grip. Gaslighting is a devious mind game where they make you question your own reality and sanity. They will blatantly deny things you know to be true. I never said that. You're imagining things, they insist, even though you remember the hurtful words clearly. They'll claim you're overreacting or too sensitive whenever you bring up a concern. By rewriting events and denying the truth, the narcissist aims to make you doubt your memory, your perceptions, and ultimately your judgment. This is an incredibly painful tactic. Over time, you start to believe their version of events over your own. You think, maybe I am the problem. Maybe I really am forgetful or crazy, as your confidence crumbles. Gaslighting is emotional abuse at its cruelest. It erodes your self-trust so that you become dependent on the narcissist's narrative. Feeling disoriented and vulnerable, you become less likely to challenge them. Exactly what the narcissist wants. In exposing this tactic, remember, you are not crazy. Their goal is to control the reality, but your truth is valid. 3. Projection, blame shifting, and deflection. Narcissists avoid responsibility like the plague. One way they do this is through projection, accusing you of the very things they're doing or feeling. This tactic is a blame-shifting smokescreen. Is the narcissist cheating or lying? Suddenly you're being grilled about trust or honesty. Are they seething with anger? Out of nowhere, they claim you're always mad or aggressive. It's bewildering and hurtful to be blamed for issues that are actually coming from them. Projection serves two purposes for the narcissist. It unloads their negative feelings onto you, and it puts you on the defensive. You find yourself fervently explaining and apologizing, trying to prove your good intentions, all while the narcissist successfully distracts from their own wrongdoing. The emotional pain here is intense. You feel unjustly accused and perpetually off balance, never able to address the narcissist's behavior because you're too busy defending yourself against false charges. Recognize this trick. When a partner's accusations feel out of left field or hypocritical, it may be intentional projection. It's not your job to absorb someone else's faults. By unmasking projection, you take away its power and place accountability back where it belongs, with the narcissist. For playing the victim, turning tables to gain sympathy. Prepare for the upside-down logic of a narcissist. When confronted with their bad behavior, they often flip the script and cast themselves as the victim. This is a deliberate manipulation tactic to escape blame. For example, if you call them out for hurtful comments, they might respond, "I can't believe you'd accuse me of that. Don't you know how much stress I'm under? You're hurting me by not understanding." Suddenly, your valid feelings are sidelined and you're comforting them instead. This tactic preys on your empathy. You probably care about your partner's feelings, so when they start crying that you're being unfair or cruel to them, you back off. The narcissist wins twice. They avoid taking responsibility, and they regain control of the narrative by making you feel guilty. Playing the victim also often works in tandem with gaslighting and projection, making their act even more convincing. The real victim, you, gets buried under the narcissist's performance of hurt feelings. It's infuriating and emotionally draining. The pain point here is the inversion of reality. You find yourself apologizing to the person who hurt you. Seeing through this charade is crucial. Healthy individuals can admit fault. Narcissists would rather make you believe they're the wounded party. Don't fall for the crocodile tears and exaggerated martyrdom. By recognizing this ploy, you stop feeding it with sympathy, forcing the narcissist to face the truth of their actions. 5. Triangulation. Freeze a crowd in their games. Narcissists love to pull others into the drama to bolster their power. This tactic is called triangulation. Essentially, they bring a third person into a conflict or relationship dynamic to gang up on you or make you jealous. They might confide in a friend or family member about how crazy or unreasonable you are, so that this third person sides with the narcissist. Suddenly, you're not just arguing with your partner, but also feel pressure from this additional person who has been convinced you're the problem. In a romantic context, a narcissist might flirt with someone else or talk about how much attention they get from others, deliberately stirring your insecurity. The pain point here is feeling isolated and doubting yourself. When the narcissist has others backing them up, you start wondering if maybe they're right and you really are the issue. Triangulation amplifies the gaslighting effect. Now you have evidence from others, orchestrated by the narcissist, that you're at fault. It's emotionally devastating to feel outnumbered and alone. But remember, in a healthy relationship, issues are resolved between the two people involved. If your partner is constantly involving a third wheel in conflicts or comparing you to others to manipulate your feelings, that's a glaring red flag. It's a power play to make you compete for their approval or to silence your valid concerns. By identifying triangulation, you can step back and see how the narcissist is pulling the puppet strings behind the scenes. 6. Smear campaigns. Destroying your support network. When a narcissist feels their control slipping or the relationship is ending, they often launch a smear campaign. This is an all-out assault on your reputation. They will spread lies, twisted half-truths, and outright gossip to paint you as the villain. To your face, they might still act cordial or plead innocence, but behind your back, they're contacting your friends, family, or co-workers with concerns about you. They want everyone to believe you're the unstable or abusive one. The goal, to isolate you and ensure you have no support when you finally break away. It's easier to control someone who stands alone. The pain of a smear campaign is profound. Not only are you dealing with heartbreak or conflict with the narcissist, but suddenly you feel the cold shoulder from people you thought were in your corner. You hear that friends are taking the narcissist's side or believing the false stories. It's a betrayal on top of a betrayal, orchestrated by the one person you least expected. If you notice this happening, whispers, sudden rifts with mutual friends, it's not in your head. Narcissists often preemptively strike. presenting themselves to others as the saint and you as the sinner, so that if you seek help or share your side, people doubt you. This tactic is extremely cruel, but exposing it takes its power away by seeing the smear campaign for what it is, a desperate bid to maintain control. You can hold onto your truth and seek allies who see through the lies. Over time, the narcissist's true colors often show to the world as well. 7. Hoovering, sucking you back in. Even after all the abuse, many narcissists aren't done. When you try to leave or establish distance, they may attempt one final manipulation tactic aptly nicknamed hoovering, like a vacuum cleaner trying to suck you back in. After periods of cruelty or silence, here they come pouring on the charm again, as if nothing happened. You might get unexpected messages like, "I miss you," or "I've been thinking about how I could have been better." They might show up with gifts or suddenly remember every sweet word that first swept you off your feet. This is basically love bombing 2.0, deployed after a stretch of neglect or abuse. In these moments, you desperately want to believe the nightmare is over, that the narcissist has finally seen the light. That hope is the emotional hook they exploit. But ask yourself, what changed really? Often, it's simply that their ego is bruised by losing control over you. The kind words and promises are a mirage to pull you back into the cycle. The pain point of hoovering is that it preys on your loneliness, guilt, or lingering love. Just when you start to heal, they plant doubt. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe they can change. It's heartbreaking to wrestle with those feelings. Understanding hoovering gives you strength to resist it. True change would come with consistent actions over time, not a sudden burst of affection only when they fear losing you. By recognizing hoovering, you can make a conscious choice. Continue breaking free instead of being lured back into the toxicity. Conclusion: exposure is empowerment. Narcissistic manipulation thrives in the shadows of your confusion and self-doubt. By shining a light on tactics like love bombing, gaslighting, projection, playing victim, triangulation, smear campaigns, and hoovering, you reclaim your reality and your self-worth. Remember that you are not alone and you're not crazy. The very behaviors that made you question yourself were designed to do just that. Now you have the knowledge to name these tactics and see the narcissist's behavior for what it is, a series of ploys to maintain power. It won't be easy, but trust in your perception and set boundaries. Seek support from those who understand what you've experienced. Healing begins with recognizing the truth. By understanding the narcissist's playbook, you can break the cycle of abuse and step away from their shadow. Your mind is your own.